Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Bear with me here as everybody starts coming on. I'm going to be scrolling through some of the CPAC agenda. Okay. Hello. I know there's a lag between chat and between me, so just letting everybody know I was scrolling through a little bit of the CPAC agenda starting tomorrow into the weekend. Just trying to see when Trump's speaking. Hello, 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 everyone. Man, I love seeing so many patriots get together in one place. Guys, share this out for me if you will. Not looking for the followers so much as I just want to get the truth out. And we've got some pretty good truth coming at you tonight. I'm going to give this just a couple more minutes. Hello, everybody. Got your Patriot shirt? That's awesome. I'm glad it came in. Yeah, guys, if you will, it'll help the show and it'll help the channel. If you, I guess by algorithm, if you like it, give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. You may have to back out of chat and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Man, people popping in here from everywhere. It's awesome. So as always, I kind of scroll through here, through Facebook, and just check for any new news. 2 minutes ago, Brad Barton's going live at 10:30 Eastern tonight. It's great. It'll give us an hour. I don't think it'll take that long, though. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and share that to my Facebook page. Where are we at? 1,133 viewers. Awesome. So tonight's topic, really the main topic for tonight, is NESRA. Okay, the National Global, you could call it GESRA as well, but the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. A lot of people have seen NESRA or GESRA go across, Facebook, I'm sure. Maybe you haven't dug into it that deep to really figure out what it is. I know a lot of you have. I get a lot of posts about NESRA. And I've spoke on NESRA before as well, especially in the beginning of me kind of coming out to the public and speaking on, some of these matters. But I want to start out, guys, and I posted this video last night. Again, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. Oh, let me situate my fat butt. Excuse me. A lot of you may have seen this from yesterday, but last night, Patriot Street Fighter put out an amazing, about an hour-long video live, or NESRA, yeah. So I'm going to play just a little bit of this for those that may not have seen it. Even for those that have, it's going to lead us into tonight's show. Okay, so I've got a great starting point for it, but I haven't necessarily picked a spot to stop it. So what I'm going to do is just play this out for a few minutes. I know it at least needs to go 4 or 5 to get to a couple points I want to get to, but I may let it go on just a little bit longer. And then we're going to go into what Nasara and Gusara really entails. Okay, what is going to happen if it is put into effect? And I honestly think it will be. It's our only viable option, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't think that the Federal Reserve can sustain itself any longer, I mean, you can only spin a top so fast before it finally stops. And guys, our Federal Reserve System is there. I mean, guys, look at your Social Security. Look at all the money that's been stolen through this, and it's going to lead us into what we're talking about tonight. So let me pull up Patriot Street Fighters live from last night. Let me get my screen sharing up. And guys, I'm just going to play this for a few minutes, and then we'll get into the rest of tonight's show. Wow, Angela, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate that, honestly. Thank you.
The Patriots are in control. The good guys are in control. And whatever maneuvers they're making to not just beat the cabal, in my opinion, they're beaten. They're beaten. They are beaten. When you start outing these animals for the massive global child sex trafficking, satanic ritual abuse, brutal sodomy, murder, cannibalism, when you start outing that on a global basis, believe me, they're beaten. They would never allow this stuff to get out widespread because they don't have the power now to stop it because of you, because of the things and the people that they fear more than anything, including meeting God himself to render justice, is you, the people, because they know what happens if you have a crack at it. There is no justice system. There's no mercy. There is no quarter. There will be brutal justice for that. They can't have you wake up to that because they know what's next. You're talking of being hunted to the ends of the earth, similar to the Black Forest, how they turn naked children loose and go hunt them down. Except there's a dead end everywhere they go. They're afraid of you. Always have been. They've been afraid of you. So now with this information that I got today, I found it very interesting, very exciting. And here's what it is. It is this, is that there's the Presidential Transition Act of 2019, Senate Bill 394, a revision of the Presidential Transition Act from 1964, neither of which I had any knowledge of. I wasn't born till 64. But in this act, there's a transitory process that happens to move power from one administration to the next. But in the amendment of this act in 2019, it rests the power of military command and control in the outgoing president for 60 days from that date. And what does that tell you? That would tell you now that the president, Trump, is in control of the military post-presidency for 60 days. Therefore, POTUS is still in control of the military. Now, you will get opposition and pushback to that idea because they will say that don't apply. Those on the other side doesn't apply. Well, they're right. It doesn't apply for the United States. Something popped up there. It doesn't apply. It doesn't apply to the United States corporation or corporate U.S., which is dead, but it does apply to the United States of America, the Constitution for, not of, the Constitution for the United States of America. It applies to that. Therefore, under the restored republic, that applies. And we now have a president who is in control of the military still. That's why you're not seeing Biden running around on Air Force One. He's right flying around on this smoker, wherever the hell they pulled this thing out of and spray painted it like a half-assed job with some guys in a bunch of dirty SUVs wearing jeans and Keds or whatever the hell they were wearing. We've seen that stuff. Explains a lot. It explains a lot on the March timeline people are looking at. So when I heard this today, I said, so are you telling me that what people are alleging is that this thing is in play for this March or April timeline of what we're going to find out about? And the answer is yes. So that's what I got today. Again, it's what I heard, and I'm just sharing it with you so you can consider it. But some people say that whatever Trump is going to do or the military is going to do, they got to do it till by March 24th. I talked to this person that I was then put on the phone directly with by my contact. And that conversation got a little bit deeper. This has been going on this person's been at it for 22 years to move the NESARA process into play. Some of you are new here, have no idea what NESARA is. NESARA is the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. And that means that of all the wealth that's been stolen from the United States citizen, the most powerful revenue generating machine on the planet in history as a U.S. taxpayer has been robbed blind, certainly since the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, where all of your money goes into the Vatican Bank. And the interest on it and all the stolen land and everything else and everything. The chattel property that you became once they created your birth certificate and started trading you as an asset on the market. What do you mean they trade me? Yes, you're an asset. You're an income producing asset and you're traded on those markets as chattel property. And there's accounts with your name on it, your social security number. I'd rather call it your serial number. That more accurately describes how they look at you. And those accounts and the money that have been in them for years obviously would belong to you. But once this is enacted, it's already been signed into law, but once it's enacted, president, vice president removed from power. Congress is disbanded. The scumbags are sent packing by NESARA law. Military takes over, full control. And then there's a 120-day period of time where this control happens until they can have new secured elections. That's how you drain the swamp. There's a lot of other things that come with it. Repatriated wealth to the American people. This applies globally as well. So there's a lot of steps through NESARA, whether they're going to go in bullet point by bullet point like we've read about over time, I do not know. I find it interesting, intriguing, and the dynamics that we're seeing through the process of all this, it has to make you question, I wonder if this is in play. Here's what else I got. There's an arrest list that came out to my contact. And what I found interesting on that arrest list of those who have committed treason are of the senators. I'm going to ask you, of the 100 senators that there are in the United States, U.S. senators, how many of those do you think are on the arrest list for treason? How many senators do you think it would be? If you had to think about a number, throw one out there. What do you think it would be? You think 50 senators? Think it could be that many? 40, 50? Think it could be 70 senators? Could you imagine? 70 senators? 70 senators on the arrest list for treason. 70. Can you imagine that? 70. What if I told you it was 93? 93.
Do y'all remember maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, kind of when I first started this, I talked about the amount of government, senators, congressmen, that would be arrested when all this was said and done. I theorized at about 85 to 90%. Just looking at the Senate, 93% on the arrest list. And what did we talk about President Trump and 17's plan was for this, right? You can't take 93 senators out of office and then hold elections to refill those seats. So I talked about how Trump and their team had been hand selecting people to fill these seats in. Literally take 93 out and put 93 in right behind them to keep the system to keep government going, right? And then come next election term, people could be, elected in. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just as biblical now and will be when it happens as it was when I was talking about it and thought it in my head and was reading about it and figuring up, how much of this is probably corrupt. This is unprecedented. Okay, so I'm gonna let this go just a couple minutes longer. Let's see, if we can find a good spot for it to end, and then we'll continue into NESARA.
Working, parasitic, blood-sucking scumbags who have sold you out. Sold out your birthright and your God-given freedom. Sold you out. 93 senators on an arrest list. The only name that I got that wasn't on that list, God bless you, sir, Senator Ted Cruz from Texas. Congratulations. You may have recovered in my eyes as of late. And I was a fan of you when you stepped into the United States Senate. Big fan. Don't trust your wife. I'm sorry. Goldman Sachs, Bush. Sorry about that. Those are the facts. That's what made you suspect with me. I do honor your fight in D.C., not looking for friends when you went there to kiss ass. That's why I respect you, Ted. Imagine that. How many congressmen do you think they've got? How many? The thing that you have to do, folks, in everything you're going to learn, and everything you must learn, and everything that is going to save this nation and give you back your opportunity to live the life that you should have always been able to live. And that is to expand your thinking. And we heard this from the 17 back channel many times. Expand your thinking. POTUS has said this himself. This is far bigger than you can possibly imagine. So my question is, how much can you expand your thinking? How big? And I'm not talking how big can you think about creating wealth and all those things that we were taught to think in terms of expanding your thinking, which is critically essential, of course, or achieving things. How big could you expand your thinking to how massive not just this operation is, but the entire realm with which we occupy that is under the control of the cabal powers, or is part of our very existence, with which 95% we've never been exposed to. We've been exposed to what the earth looks like, cars, some technology, this thing, what it's like to fall in love, get married, have kids, have a career, be inspired.
So I'm gonna end his clip there. Okay. Isn't NESARA a cult? And I heard it's to continue their agenda to control us all. So that's what the left wants you to think. That's what they're pressing all this as, right? Why would they want to give up the Federal Reserve and lose all power and the money that they've been stealing from us for decades and decades and decades. I mean, since like 1913, okay, when the Federal Reserve was put into place, it was the biggest scam and theft idea ever put into place. Look at everything you're being taxed on. They literally just keep putting their hands deeper in your pocket when they want more money. We are their asset. We are traded, just as Scott talks about. Okay? They trade our potential assets even. Right? So it's time to wake up financially. Yeah, legalize mafia. You're right, Tammy. And it's not, the thing is it's not even legalized. It's just now so commonplace and so overlooked because everybody puts all their trust into our government and the federal system. We've literally been numb to it. Okay? So it's time to slap yourself and wake up to what's going on. We are literally, it's like all of us are slaves, honestly. So let's read into NESARA. I know you guys probably can't really read this, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to read a little bit of this to you. I'm going to turn off my screen share. I'm going to pull this over so that I can actually see it. So NESARA and GESARA, so the National or Global Economic Security and Reformation Act. NESARA is the most groundbreaking reformation to sweep not only the United States of America, but the whole planet, thus the GESRA, Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, in its entire history. The act does away with the Federal Reserve Bank, the IRS, the shadow government, and much more. NESARA implements the following changes, and this is by bullet point. I'm going to name them all, okay? Zeroes out all credit card, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities. This is the Federal Reserve's worst nightmare, a jubilee or a forgiveness of debt. And wouldn't it be nice to buy a house right now and then in about 6 months just the debt's forgiven? With rates as low as they are right now, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, right? That's why we waited as long as we did to move. Second, abolishes the income tax. Have y'all ever thought about this? And honestly, since we're not taught this in school, right? I don't know if any of y'all ever have been taught, I don't know, finance, how to pay your taxes, how to prepare your taxes, any of it. I mean, credit. I mean, did y'all have a class on credit? I mean, I had to learn the hard knock way, right? I had to get down to those 480 scores to figure out, okay, well, crap. I can't buy anything. I'm screwed. And had to learn it on my own. So, abolishing the income tax. Think about this, all right? And just kind of expand your mind around how this theft of your money, our hard-earned money, by people within our government to fund their slush funds or their overseas accounts, right? I'm talking billions and billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars, folks, okay, that could have went to the homeless or to veterans that were homeless or in need, yet all it's done is really filled their pockets. So the income tax, you are making money from your 9 to 5 or your swing shift job. You might be putting in 40 hours a week. You might be putting in 50, 60. I mean, guys, I've heard of people putting in 70, 75 hours, 80 hours a weekend before. And they tax you before you even get your money. That's common knowledge, right? That's just commonplace. I mean, I posted a video not long ago on Facebook of a young man, I think must have been 16, got his first job, got his first check in the back seat, and his dad's sitting there filming him open it. And you see this kid go from, yeah, I got my first check, to this ain't right. That's like, he hasn't been bred to think that way. So if it's not right to him, should it be right to us? right? This dude's check was supposed to be $300 more than it was, and he was disappointed when he realized that his $400 check's now $132. So not only do we get taxed on our money as soon as we make it, before we even pay anything, but with that money that they've already taken taxes out of, every year you've got to pay $300, $400, $500, $600 to pay for the taxes on your vehicle that you paid taxes on when you bought it. It's financed into your loan that you're paying interest on to the banks. Then when you go to the grocery store to try and put food on the table with the money you have left over, you're paying taxes on that as well. Anything that you're buying from Walmart, anything that you're buying from Kroger's. Now, we could go deeper and deeper into the things that we pay taxes on, but folks, the point I'm trying to make here is you are literally taxed on your casket. Okay? So, this is gonna abolish the income tax, guys. How much money do you have withheld from your check every month, every year? So then it abolishes the IRS. Employees of the IRS will be transferred into the U.S. Treasury National Sales Tax Area. It creates a 14% flat rate, non-essential, new items only tax revenue for the government. In other words, food and medicine will not be taxed, nor will used items such as old homes. If you go out and buy new furniture, if you go out and buy a car, if you go out and buy laundry detergent, there's going to be a 14% tax across the board. Only when you buy it. Okay? So I would much rather pay 14% tax, which is probably lower than most states. When California, I don't know what their taxes are like, but I'm sure they're sky high. However, I would much rather pay 14% on a vehicle at $10,000 and pay an extra $1,400 and pay $500 a year for every single year that I own that vehicle. So guys, it's money back in your pockets. Now, Scott goes on to talk about the United States note that we will move to from the Federal Reserve dollar, that it would be a one-for-one swap. That it's all going to be backed by gold and other resources, which I've heard is actually being held in Reno, Nevada. I don't know that to be true, but we'll see. So pay 14% on everything. Increases benefits to senior citizens. Returns constitutional law to all courts and legal matters. Reinstates the original title of nobility amendment. Establishes new presidential and congressional elections within 120 days after NESARA's announcement. The interim government will cancel all national emergencies and return us back to constitutional law. So there is like Scott said, 120 days of a transition period where all of this will be put into effect. The military will be in control. It also monitors elections and prevents illegal election activities with special interest groups. Creates a new U.S. Treasury rainbow currency backed by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals, ending the bankruptcy of the United States initiated by Franklin Roosevelt in 1933. Forbids the sale of American birth certificate records as chattel property bonds by the U.S. Department of Transportation. They're going to free us from the slavery that is bound to the Federal Reserve. Initiates new U.S. Treasury bank system in alignment with the constitutional law. Eliminates the Federal Reserve System. During the transition period, the Federal Reserve will be allowed to operate side by side of the U.S. Treasury for the 1 year in order to remove all Federal Reserve notes from the money supply. Restores. So we'll have a year where Shelby J, thank you so much. I appreciate the donation. That's very helpful. Thank you guys for the support. So we're going to be able to operate side by side. Your American dollar is going to trade one for one for whatever currency we're going to go with. And you're going to be able to use either one for a year. Okay? Restores financial privacy. retrains all judges and attorneys in constitutional law. So we're literally going to clean house of judges and attorneys, and we're probably going to have them go through some. Think about this, guys. I mean, I know you got to pass the bar, you've got to do a lot of things to be an attorney, and it's not easy, or everybody would do it, unless you just don't like being a liar. No, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Not all attorneys are liars. Anyways, they're going to retrain them, right? Just like whenever I took the SAFE MLO exam for a mortgage loan officer exam, that was stringent, standardized test that was difficult to pass because you had to learn all of the rules and regulations and pass a test to do it. So I know they have their tests, but I'm telling you, they're going to retrain everybody on constitutional law. Because I tell you, in schools today, if you go to Harvard, if you go to Yale, if you go to any of those big name schools that are literally funded by Soros and those of his likes, are not teaching constitutional law. Establishes peace throughout the world, releases enormous sums of money for humanitarian purposes, and enables the release of over 6,000 patents of suppressed technologies that are being withheld from the public under the guise of national security, including free energy devices, anti-gravity, and sonic killing machines. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to stop right there, and if you think that sounds crazy, I'm going to tell you this. In the Air Force, I worked on planes that cost tens of millions of dollars, if not close to hundreds of millions of dollars, that were built in the 60s and 70s and in our arsenal today, in a very revered aircraft that isn't going anywhere anytime soon. When I worked for Boeing, we were designing the new F-15 SAs, the Saudi Arabian F-15s. They just came out with more here recently, and they're totally revamped. My whole process in the military was upgrading these old machines into new technology. And the technology from 1960 and 70s that was put into these aircrafts was actually technology more from like 1920 and 1930. Okay? We are still flying aircraft that has a box that's 15 to 20 pounds, tons of them, that literally don't even get into the realm of gigabyte data transfer per second. They're still down in kilobytes per second. Almost as if you'd put a floppy disk into the son of a buck. Okay? Trust me, I hated working on them. They were a pain in the butt. Yet, we have thumb drives that you can put a terabyte of information on, stick it in your front pocket, and you can put literally your entire life of information on it, and you wouldn't even come close to filling it up. So the technology that you're seeing in like the F-35, the F-22 Raptor, the Osprey, this is all technology from probably the 70s. Okay? So the technology that's being kept from you right now could hit our military in 20, 30, 40 years. Or with NESARA, we could just declass it all and let's see what we've really got, right? What do we really have to work with for our military? What do we as civilians get to enjoy the luxuries of technology of? So that's kind of the list for NESARA and GESARA. Let's look at the history a little bit. I'm going to read a little bit more of this, and then we're going to end this with a few quicker slides. The National Economic Security and Reformation Act. This is an introduction. Man, if I go into this, it's going to take me a moment because this goes year by year by year of events that have taken place. Here's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to copy this link right now, and I'm going to paste it onto my Facebook page. So it's going up right this moment. If you guys want to take a look at it, you can. If you want to get a little educated on NESARA, let me get to my page here. All right, it's up. Shit, well, it's posting. So everybody heard today. Probably not everybody, but a lot of you, because I've already seen some of you post this, that oh shoot, bear with me. Okay. That the Federal Reserve crashed today. I had my predictions and opinions about it as soon as it happened. I think I even made a post, and some people were like, it's far-fetched. Some people agreed with me, but do we think it might have been just a test to see if we could shut it down? Like, pulled the plug. They shut down. Like, I'm talking mortgage industry, banking industry, the IRS. Nobody could move funds, okay, for like over 2 hours today. And nobody that I've heard or read has been able to explain why, okay, for 1 hour. Okay, I thought it was 2. I actually read a couple articles that I'm 99% sure said it was almost 2 hours. But you might be right. Could have been an hour. But let's look at something that happened while it was down. Did you all know that not only GameStop, but other stocks as well skyrocketed when that system went down? Okay? So GameStop stock and other meme stocks shot through the roof today. Why? Because the Federal Reserve's Infinity money hack stopped working. The Feds pumps Infinity money into Wall Street banks and hedge funds in order to keep the average American poor. The system is called Fedwire, and when it went down like magic, all the meme stocks started launching to the moon. The Fed is exposed. The word needs to get out. GameStop didn't kill itself. The effing Fed did. I won't say it. But think about that, right? Think of all the slush funds. Think of all the actual money that the Vatican could have had, that our Federal Reserve had from taking all your tax money. And they could take this money and pump it into the stocks and hedge funds to keep stocks from going up so high that you might actually make some money off of it. So it was huge. This is huge, guys. Like, don't pass this up. This was concrete evidence that GameStop at 2:37 today went from $4.70 ish. Sorry, $44.70 up to $91.71. 100% return if you would have bought in. Over 100%, more like 110 within an hour or two. As soon as everything shut down, they started going up. Also, this was today, Twitter has started to flag links to CPAC's website, cpac.org, as unsafe on the eve of the conference. So now Twitter, when is social media gonna learn? I guess it's just gonna take Trump shutting them all down. Wouldn't be surprised to see that happen very soon. But they're even censoring links to the CPAC page. But let me tell you something. If you go there right now, you're not getting a ticket, because they are absolutely sold out. Doesn't surprise me, but it's going to be a packed house. I mean, $330 will get you in for a general ticket, $2,500 for a premium package, and for a premium gold package, it costs you $7,500 just to go to this thing. But it is sold out. Don't know how long it's been sold out, but it is. But somebody posted this in the comments earlier, and you're right. Sunday, 3:40 p.m., President Trump will be closing out the CPAC conference with a speech. And imagine going to an all-conservative rally where some of the brightest people come together and speak on important topics, right? Issues that are going on today in the United States and in the world. And guys, there's going to be a lot to talk about this starting tomorrow. Okay, and now imagine being all amped up, hearing all these people speak, and end it off with Trump most likely dropping some bomb Sunday. I don't see this guy. Listen, I don't see Trump coming out of, I'm not going to call it hiding, okay? His silence has been golden, okay? I mean, think about this. If you're innocent, are you going to sit there and whine and cry and go all over mainstream media? And no, it gives them too much it gives them a ball to play ball with. Right now, he's taken away the ball and put it in his court, and he's kept it there. Okay, so I highly doubt that Trump is going to come out of his silence to show up on air for the first time since this fraudulent inauguration and election, and not drop some atomic bombs and warheads on foreheads when he comes out to speak. I just have a funny feeling in my stomach that, and guys, pay attention closely to what he says. Remember, Trump is the kind of person that you have to read between the lines. Okay, he's going to say a couple words or a sentence that should key you in on some of the things that we've been talking about. Okay, he speaks to us differently than he does to mainstream media, and I guarantee you he's going to speak to the conservatives that are there this weekend and all of us on national television in a way that you may not have seen him talk before to mainstream media. I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy's like completely open and flagrant about his feelings on mainstream media, but you're going to see him say some things that should really key us into things are happening. That's not coincidence. We've seen that up until now, but CPAC is going to be epic. I really believe it. And I think it's really going to be the kickoff that we all want to see of things taking place. So, 3:40 Sunday, 3:40 p.m., Trump will be speaking. Here's a fresh drop from 5:30 p.m. today. FBI investigating members of Congress as riot suspects. That's right. So, I'm going to read a little bit of this because we've all been under fire, okay? All of Trump's supporters have been under fire and deemed as extremists or terrorists or, I mean, you name it, they've called us, okay? That's what I would expect them to do. But what they didn't know, and what I think Fancy Nancy didn't understand, was that their cell phones, their emails, their everything was being tracked. Okay, I'm going to read this. Hundreds of people have been investigated for their roles in the riot at the U.S. Capitol in January, and many have been arrested and face charges ranging from trespassing on up. Now, some members of Congress are also being investigated by the FBI as suspects, The Intercept reported. Within hours of the riot, the FBI began obtaining thousands of phone and electronic records involving people at the scene, including members of Congress, the publication said. Using special emergency power and other measurements, the FBI has collected reams of private cell phone data and communications that go beyond the videos that rioters shared widely on social media. The FBI obtained the information through emergency orders that do not require court authorization, as well as data downloads from cell phone towers in the area. So without even needing a court order, a judge signature, anything, they were able to just, boom, start collecting data, download it all. And that's what they did. I'm sure the NSA was heavily involved with the FBI when this happened. The cell phone data includes many records from the members of Congress and staff members who were at the Capitol the day that day to certify President Joe Biden's election's victory. One source said the FBI was, quote unquote, searching cell towers and phones pinging off cell sites in the area to determine visitors of the Capitol. They got it all. And if Nancy was, when I say Nancy, fancy Nancy, I'm talking about that witch Pelosi. If Pelosi was involved in organizing this with others, they got it. Okay? They're not writing hand letters to each other like the good old days. They have succumbed to the technology that we all have, and that's going to be their downfall. Okay? Because everything's there. Everything. And we're all going to get to see a lot of it. One last little piece here, and guys, I never thought I would read this to you. I never thought this would come to fruition. I never thought that a company like this would even consider it, but, it's been a long epoch and of having gas vehicles. But GM announced today the end of building diesel and gas-powered cars and trucks. Not as of today, but they are supposed to stop all diesel and gas-powered production by 2035. They're going to go electric. So no more Allison transmissions in your Duramax diesel. It's not going to be anymore. Now, this could change, and hopefully it does. I'm sure once NESARA goes into effect, once we start building up our natural gas and resources and putting the American people back to work and actually being able to energize our own country without having to dip into China or sell them some or whatever, maybe GM will change its stance. Because I'm sure they're being pressured right now with the new Green Deal, right? They already see it coming. They're trying to think proactively. Let's just move to electric vehicles. I'm not against moving to electric vehicles, honestly. I'm really not. Hell, they're faster. They got more torque. They can do 0 to 60 in half the time as most, gas-powered V8s or vehicles. And, they're greener. That's cool. Okay, I'm not against that. But GM's just going to drop a bombshell like that? We're stopping making gas and diesel-powered vehicles forever. And we're working on ending it as we speak and should be done by 2035. Less than 15 years. Or a little over 15 years, sorry. I just thought that was interesting. In a stunning announcement, GM says it will stop making all diesels and gas-powered cars and trucks. Its goal is to be carbon neutral by 2040, so to that end, it will stop all diesel and gas-powered production by 2035. That's it. Like it says here, no more Duramax Silverados, no more V8 Corvettes. In fact, no more internal combustion anything. in a time of a bunch of electronic vehicles, I'd say it'd be a hell of a time to come out with a really nice sports car and slap a label on it or a brand on it and sell the heck out of it. Because that's what we're all going to want. We're going to want to go back to gas. So, everybody, that's all I really had tonight. I hope that enlightened you a little bit on the NESARA. I hope that a lot of you are waking up that may not be completely awake. Rub the sleepies out of your eyes, okay? It's coming. You know, we haven't been talking about this for months and researching about it for years. It's happening, okay? If you're not awake enough to put all the puzzle pieces together and see the dots connect as all this is happening, I'm sorry. Start researching some more. Start looking into things a little bit deeper. Don't Google anything. Go to DuckDuckGo. You're not censored there. You can search whatever you want, and you'll get whatever information you want. Hold on. Kim Wooten says, "Bye, troll. Don't understand why they come on the live videos." Yeah, well, they're reaching. Okay, they're losing. They know it. And they can go crawl back in the corner of their mom's basement later, okay, and be a keyboard warrior. Not worried about them, guys. We're above them, okay. But I hope you all wake up. And those like the trolls that are on here probably talking smack, they're gonna get knocked right between the eyes, okay. So we're looking forward to it for you, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's my suggestion. And just, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a guru when it comes to that stuff. But I will say, if you can afford some hard assets, whether it be precious metals, gold, silver, I'd buy a little bit. Okay, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You've got gold and silver that's still at the market price or may go up a little bit, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to gold and silver if we go back to the NESARA and our money is backed by gold and silver. You are going to have some wealth. It's like buying into Bitcoin post 8 years ago. Okay, so get a little bit. I wouldn't even take out of consideration, cryptocurrency. I think that it's something we all need to look into, research. If you don't know anything about it and you're scared to get into it because of it, you need to do some research on it. A lot of money's being made right now. And I'll tell you this, okay? This is my insider information for all of you when it comes to cryptocurrency. Now, look, I'm the pot calling the kettle black. I haven't even invested in cryptocurrency yet. Shame on me. I knew it was gonna do well, and there were so many options, and I didn't know enough about it. I didn't get into it, and I'm still not into it, but I'm about to be. I go to my local gas station that I go to every morning, usually at least once in the evening. Stop in, get me something to drink, and it's an Indian guy that he's awesome. I love him to death. I'm kind of sad to not be able to go to that gas station anymore when we move. But he said, "Hey man, are you into any crypto?" And I said, "No, not yet, but I've been thinking about it." And he said, "Well, here in a couple weeks we're going to have a new crypto ATM. They're hitting all the gas stations up for crypto ATMs, so people can withdraw crypto money from their ATMs. So guys, it's coming." Okay, I'm not telling you to go spend your life savings in Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of the other cryptos, but what I am saying is, as people pump these up, and what I mean pump is they buy. People get on social media and they're like, "Let's pump this one," and they buy. Don't buy crypto and Bitcoin going bye. I honestly don't think so. I don't think it's going to go bye. I think it's going to be kind of sistered in with some of this new NESARA currency that we're going to have. I don't know. People are torn between it. I'm not going to say that, I'm right and you're wrong. Okay. I don't know enough about Bitcoin. Yeah, do not buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's too expensive. It's probably, I mean, I don't know. It's too expensive for you to make any type of return as those people that were mining it years ago and were getting a half a Bitcoin a day. Think of a half a Bitcoin a day in today's market of Bitcoin. I'd have 5 computers in my house just mining all day long, making 3-4 Bitcoin a day for a year until it exploded. I know people that did it. They're rich. Okay. So don't count out cryptocurrency. Okay. Definitely go get yourself some gold, go get yourself some silver, platinum, things of that nature that are going to be backing up our currency hopefully soon. And I think you'll see your investment you'll reap the rewards greatly. Hold on to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end tonight with a quick prayer. I'm going to hop off here because in 3 minutes Brad's going to be on. I want y'all to see his show. So if you would like to, bow with me and we'll end tonight in prayer. Dear God, we come to you tonight to be thankful. We know that times have been tough, confusing. They have been absolutely trying on most of us, but we are still thankful, even in those hard times. For if it wasn't for these hard times, our eyes would not be open to what we have now seen today. Our minds would not be open to the corruption that is going on, and we would still be sitting here clueless. We are prepared to take whatever you have to dish to us for us all to see what's truly going on in our world today so that we can correct that and live by you, live by your word, live by your guidance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Everybody have a great night. I'll be on Brad's show in just a moment. See you in chat. Guys, if you forgot to or if you haven't gotten to yet, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, check out the merch in the description. There's a link, and we'll have more stuff up soon. I know I've said that the past couple days, but I'm really busy. So I'm going to get these 4 new designs on shirts, I promise, by Sunday night. I've got to pack a lot Saturday, so Sunday night, I'm going to try and get those shirts up before the next show. So you guys have a great night, and stay patriotic. Keep doing your research, question everything, and we'll see you next time.